All right, so I'm not gonna even. We don't need no intro. I'm gonna just jump right into it. Um, if you guys don't want to accept reality and someone to tell it like it is, then this is not the video for you. I'm a realist. This is what my channel is based upon. Now everything is subjective, but I see things the way they are. This whole thing with Wesley Snipes cameo, it was a big cheer in my theater when we seen him or whatever. I had to try to figure out who he was, but I picked up on it. But the crowd went wild. But as the hype went down, you notice one thing about Wesley Snipes. He's old. He's 62 or 64 years old. He's not the athletic, tough guy, built physique like he was in his prime. This guy is old, and it shows through his face. He's skinny, bony, looks like he's been malnutrition, looks like he missed a couple meals. And this is not me bragging, making fun of Wesley Snipes, because I always was a fan of his. I mean, New Jack City, when I first seen him, his motion picture in theater really scared the shit out of me. Like, Nino Brown scared the shit out of me. Like, I remember when he died at the end, a lot of people, it was a standing ovation. That's how much impact New Jack City had on me as a kid. So I respect Wesley Snipes and his for what he's did. I mean, he played in some of my favorite movies. Not just New Jack City, but Passenger 57, New Jack City, of course, Demolition Man as Simon Phoenix, badass in that movie. The one where he had to protect the president, that was a good movie. Boiling Point, So Wesley Snipes at Sugar Hill, he always been around in my life, and I respect him as an actor and the work that he's done. But the reality of the matter is, he's too damn old. Like, when he was on screen, he has gray hairs, his face was skinny, and as much as I was a fan of the Blade series in the early 2000s, he really brought the character alive. I really wasn't into comic book movies like that, but he did define the character back then as Blade. But now he just looks silly, and he's just because he's old. He doesn't have the physique. He doesn't look the same. He sounds the same, and his body is beat up. I think he's a great grandpa right now. It was good seeing him in the theater, in the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, because that's what really kept me engaged with the cameos. But he's old, and I know there's a lot of people wanting him to play Blade again, but my answer is why? He's 64 years old. You really want to put that type of pressure on Wesley Snipes, a 64-year-old man? He can't do the same things. He can't even move the same no more. I mean, I'm getting older and I can't even do the things that I was when I was in my teens. So the reality of the matter is, Wesley Snipes is he's old. Like, why would you guys want to see another movie of a 64-year-old or 62 or 64-year-old trying to be 20 again or 30 again? It just won't work. Now, I am open to another person playing a character, a much younger person, somebody like Jonathan Majors, or there's other people that can play Blade. But Wesley Snipes is too fucking old. And that's just the reality. Um, I do think he is the reason why this movie is a success, just because of the cameos. But I don't really think he can hold the movie on his own. Maybe if it came out on, you know, it may be. But to the people that want to see this, why would you want to put that pressure on a 64-year-old man? I mean, if you look at Hugh Jackman in Deadpool Wolverine, he's old. Like, he's old. Like, you can tell he's not the same Hugh Jackman that he was when he first started Wolverine, that he was, what, 20 years ago. You know, I think a lot of these actors are they're just washed up, man. I mean, they're done for. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they didn't serve their time. They didn't serve this purpose. Why not pass the torch? Now, there's just certain roles that a lot of people can't play, but I think a younger actor should take Wesley Snipes' place. Somewhere with a better physique, more masculine physique, because the close shots up in his face in this movie looked like he was smoking crack. And I mean that I know he had trouble in the past with drugs, but you can tell that he's very old, you know. Which, like I said, I do respect Wesley Snipes, but I don't want to see him put that much stress on himself to get a fan's movies, because that would take a lot of work. And I don't even think his body can handle it, you know. But you know, you just look old. Him and Hugh Jackman, they're just old, man, you know. Now, speaking of Hugh Jackman, you know, I was surprised of Henry Cavill's, because I didn't know that was him at first until I had to some guy pointed it out. That's a more younger version, and I think he played that little role that he had. He played it really good. You know, it's time for these old actors just to sit down, you know, because, you know, they're senior citizens now, and that's Denzel Washington included. You know, it's just time for them to just sit down and pass the torch. But it was good seeing them, but it didn't really change my perspective of the movie. The movie still sucked, and I thought it looked kind of silly of him being that damn old, trying to do all those moves. It just looked really corny. But that's my truth about Wesley Snipes. I respect him, but I think it's time to pass the torch to a much younger actor. You know, just because the physique and everything that a young actor can bring to the screen. I think Wesley Snipes completed his Blade trilogy, and it would have been cool to get some more films, but I mean, he's 64. I mean, he's in his 60s, y'all. He's old. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm being mean or I'm being realistic? I think some of these actors just need to go in and pass the torch, because I would love to see Henry Cavill you know, do Wolverine. I think he got what it takes. He has the facial, he has the physique, and he has the youth. Even though he's 40, he has the youth. But for Wesley Snipes, man, he's just too damn old, you know. And you know, that's just my opinion. I know a lot of people will say it's mean. I'm a realist, you know. But what do you guys think? Do you think you would want to see Wesley Snipes 64 or 62 running around as Blade? Because I don't. I would like to see a more younger actor. But like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.